Hello, my name is Kimberly Wolf. As a mom, I am really careful of what my children watch. I have two little girls. Gabi is 4 and Josie is 18 months old. Before I had Josie, I had banned Dora from my house. That might sound silly because you might be telling yourself, isn't Dora the Explorer supposed to be a kid show? Yes, it is, but I banned it from an experience I will never forget. It was around Christmas of 2013, and Gabi was 2 years old. She usually liked Disney Junior, which had Doc McStuffins and Sophia the First, her two favorite shows. Almost every day, though, she would turn to Nick Jr. and watch Dora when her favorite shows weren't on. Since she watched Dora on a daily basis, I probably thought she would like a Dora DVD. Since my husband was home, and I wanted to be quick, I decided to go to Cumberland Farms. If you don't know about this chain, it's like a convenience store, and the one nearest to me had a DVD rack. I filed through the DVDs until I finally found one. It had a normal cover which said Dora the Explorer Map Adventures. What I learned was that the cover was normal, but the DVD wasn't. On Christmas Eve, we had our Christmas party we had every year, and then we opened our presents. Gabi got the Dora DVD that I'd got for her. She thanked me for it, but she didn't watch it until Christmas Day. So now Gabi had her presents from Santa Claus opened, and I think it was before dinner that she watched it. She had her own DVD player on her TV, so I popped the DVD into her player and left her to watch it. When she came out of their room, she said, "Mommy, Daddy, Dora's scary. I don't want to see her." As my husband always has to assume everything he says is right, he unsurprisingly said, "Honey, it was probably just nothing." But I could see it in her eyes. She looked pale like snow, her eyes were very tired, her lips were dry, and she looked like she had a fever. I told her, "Don't worry, Gabi, there's nothing to be scared about. Lay in bed and rest for a while." But there was something to be scared about. Dora's real life. I took the DVD out of the DVD player and sent Gabi to bed. I wondered. What was so bad about a DVD that says Map Adventures? I was about to find out. At 10 p.m., it came to my conclusion to test the video, even though I considered smashing it into bits for a while. But anyway, I found a portable DVD player I'd gotten on eBay and put the DVD in there. But before I actually did, I examined the DVD. It was a DVD that we'd use to record things with or burn other videos on. Written on the DVD, it said, "Dora's Real Life" in red marker. Why is this not exactly a Dora DVD? I whispered to myself. Anyway, I put it in the player. The DVD started and it showed the Paramount logo. The difference was it had the fanfare instead of being silent, as the DVD logos usually were. I like to hum the fanfares, so I did. But it seemed to get off key at the end. Okay, that was weird, I thought to myself. Anyway, it had the Nick Jr. logo, which made me jump. Guess what it was? It was the orange Nick beating up the blue Jr. mercilessly. Who in their right minds would make that? I mean, did they think that this, as in child abuse, was a joke? The theme song started. It was a theme in the earlier episodes, but with many changes. The song sounded perfectly fine, but here, everything was changed. The French doors were open and brown with the creaking noise. The arts and crafts tables had a sign saying, "No tego nade con quin habitor, qui mi aude." I have no one to talk to. Help me. The room was dimly lit, and the orange cushion was replaced with some kind of dark shadow. And lastly, the computer was an old white 1990s computer instead of a green one. The Dora computer game had nobody except Dora, which made me feel a little bit uneasy. Then it showed the logo. Dora looked depressed and she pretended to smile, but her eyes told everything, almost like the expression of someone who was about to hang himself. The episode started with text saying, "Margarita Maza de Llores, Cabellino, Guerrero, Mexico." It featured an orange Mediterranean-style looking home, which I assumed was Dora's house. It seemed rusty and boarded up, It had toys scattered all over the place. It zoomed into a front window that featured a messy bedroom with chipped wallpaper. The bed that kept an unkept Dora with ratty hair. She woke up and said, "Hola, soy Dora." Then she pulled out a stuffed monkey resembling Boots and said, "And I'm Boots." Boots was actually a stuffed animal? Dora continued on, "I need your help. Will you help me find something to do?" "You will? Come on, vamonos. Let's go." Then after she went downstairs, she told her parents that she was exploring, but they weren't answering her. Dora just continued and said, "I think I know where we can go, Boots." "Where?" "To the big city." "But Dora, how do we get to the big city?" "Let's stop and think. Who do we ask for help when we don't know which way to go?" "Say map, say map." Dora pulled out a scribbled-on piece of paper, and Dora imitated map, saying that they had to cross the troll bridge, go into the spooky forest, and then to the big city. Then, as usual, Map told me to say it with them, just like regularly shown in episodes. Dora then repeated the destinations, and when she said "Vámonos," she also whispered, "Señor, por favor, ayúdame en cambiar este mundo. Amen." Lord, please help me change this world. Amen. Dora walked for a few yards, and then stopped and asked where the troll bridge was. Although there was no bridge in sight, she randomly goes to a path and says "Gracias" and "Vámonos." She sings her "Where Are We Going" song while wading down a hill. She randomly stops and says, "We made it to the troll bridge." Suddenly, a homeless man is on the street with Dora. He looks in his mid-50s and is very filthy with a long frizzy beard. He then says to Dora, "¿Tienes algo de dinero?" "Do you have any money?" Dora then beams and says, "Hola, grumpy old troll. What's your riddle?" The man then says, "Qui di menos esta dignoro nina? Porque siempre te entiende qui hacer esto todos los días, eh? What the hell are you talking about, girl? Why do you always have to do this every day?" Dora is obviously confused and says, "Thanks for letting me over your bridge, grumpy old troll." The man then says, "Arde in an inferno pera. Burn in hell, bitch." Then Dora asks where the spooky forest was, thanks you, and then says "Vámonos," and then sings. This is when things got worse. The streets get more and more polluted, and you could see more graffiti and gangs. Dora stops and says, "We made it to the spooky forest. Be careful, there can be spooky bats and witches." Suddenly, a man came up and said, "Sera ti mandere di merido o te cotere ingrante, ed el tubo its familia. Get out of my fucking way or I'll cut your throat and tube your family." Dora then says, very scared, "Swiper, no swiping! Swiper!" Then it shows a man shoving Dora in her boot stall was sent flying. Dora's knees were gushing blood from scraping on the concrete. Then Boots hears a tear in him. Dora mimics Boots saying, "Ouch!" and said that she needed a backpack's help to help Boots. She got a purple backpack and said all the things backpack would say, got a bandage and said, "Yum yum 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 yum, delicioso." After that little strip of conflict, Dora says, "Me siento tan solo. Delibera acabar con ella. Qui es la vida. I feel so alone. Should I end it? What's the purpose of my life?" She starts to tear up and silently cry while walking to the big city. When she finally got to the big city, she was extremely worn out. Her eyes were red from crying, she had blisters on her knees from Swiper's attack, and her boot stall was dirtier. She said in a depressing voice, "We made it to the big city. We did it." Dora tried to sing her trademark "We Did It" song, but miserably failed due to depression. She said, "What was your favorite part?" "I didn't like any parts." Dora then walks up to the screen and says, "I need to confess something. Your adventures with me were never true. Boots was my stuffed animal all my life. The troll is a homeless man who begs for money, not riddles. Swiper's a man who wants to kill me, and all the others were never real. I never had friends. I had to make up my own, so I found you guys. We did everything together. Until now. I can't explore with you guys anymore. I'm sorry. I couldn't have done it, making friends, without you. Thanks for helping. The screen then stayed black for a while. I was about to eject the DVD until the screen faded white and read, 3 days later. It faded to a forest, which revealed to be that on one tree. You could clearly see a decayed Dora, with intestines dangling in a grotesque real fashion, blue-covered fingers, gouged-out eyes, and other disgustingly real features. The boot stall was near the tree. He had many rips in his fabric, and stuffing was popping out. A note on the tree said, El Señor me has salvado de esta mala muerte inferno de lugar, quid fun un suicidio, el suicidio es su escape. The Lord has saved me from this bad death hell of a place, which was a suicide. It was my escape. The picture got more and more distorted until the scene changed to a newscast saying, earlier this week, a 7-year-old Dora named Dora Marquez was found on a noose in a forest in coastal Mexico, revealing to have committed suicide. Beside her was her stuffed monkey and suicide note. She was a star on the beloved children's show Dora the Explorer. We will all miss her dearly in our hearts. The screen then zoomed out of the beginning computer. The computer turned off by itself and the camera panned to reveal a coffin behind the computer. The camera zoomed out, and the earlier shadows was now where the boot stall laid. A bony hand grabbed the sign from earlier and took it off the screen. The doors then closed, and the hand with the sign came back. The sign was nothing else more than a bunch of garbled lettering. There were no credits. The screen faded to black, and that was it. I kept the DVD in my closet and still keep it in there today so my 2 children don't see it. But anyway, I burnt the video onto my computer and emailed Viacom, saying how fucked up it was to make an animation like that out of a children's cartoon. I also attached the video to the email. They actually told me that they admitted in 2003 they were purportedly trying to make an animation that was a little bit more darker than usual. However, due to backlash and negative responses from test viewers, it pretty much never aired. That is what made me ban Dora from my children. Now you know. Now you know why I banned Dora the Explorer in my house. All because of Dora's real life.